Alright, welcome to whatever this video is gonna be. Alright, we're gonna do a Omen of Storm mini review. So basically, we'll be reviewing the cards based on their art, their viability in the metagame, and some comments. So if you guys want a full document for this, it will be in the link in the description below, and hope you enjoy the rest of this video. So how we're gonna do this before we start is we're gonna look at each card here. Thank you Reddit as usual, although I don't like Reddit. Thank you Reddit for providing all the easiest source I can just look at the cards and just rate them up. So we'll go by classes, obviously we're listed here, and let me be honest, I already can smell a lot of copium. So first we have Adherent of Annihilation. I'm gonna mispronounce. Fanfare, ambush, end of turn until opponents. Whenever an effect decreases opponent's stats, which you're gonna see a lot of one of this archetype do, you draw a card. So it's not once per turn, that's great. Evolve -4 to an enemy follower. Same thing as its unevolved form. It's okay. It's kind of stat alone because you can either evolve at minus, so you can draw a card. It's really good in Tick 2. It's not really what Forest wants at the moment because Forest is so Aria centric, right? So this doesn't help in the Aria deck. In the Evolve package, in the future, maybe it's really useful because as we can see, Evolve are really control based, right? So this will help in the future with the whole oh, Evo, you just have value land, you draw cards, you remove body, really good card. Good in the future, terrible at the moment, not even viable at all. Art wise, she's kinda cute. She tries to be Onesan, but she's just not there. It's alright. I like the aesthetic a little bit. It doesn't seem like your typical Japanese artwork style, not the anime style. It looks a bit American actually. It looks a bit like MTG, a little bit. But you can still see some of the traces of the anime influence. Art wise, 4. It's okay. It doesn't stick to me that much. Viability 1. Viability is 1. It's not that viable, that's all. Erosive Annihilation. Wow. Give your leader the following effect. At the end of your turn, give -1/1 to all enemy followers. One baby bullshit. This card is really strong. So Erosive Annihilation is very strong in the sense that it's perma leader effect. Any sort of aggro that you want to stop, this is the best friend. If somehow Wrath becomes very, very popular, Erosion Annihilation might be tagged. It's also the fact that it's a 1 mana spell, right? So you can just play out of your hand. You can reduce your hand size to 8 so that you can play out cards that generate 2 copies, like your what's it called again? Your legendary Blossom and stuff like that, even Aria. But that's just an example. Basically, anything that gives you 2 cards in hand and you don't want to overdraw, you can just play it out with Erosive Annihilation, that's fine. It's also a really good early game card. Izudia is a very cool Omen. Like the whole burning green flames on the branches. Art is 7, quite solid. Viability 3. Could be tagged, yeah, if needed. Good anti-aggro card. Izudia, Unkilling Annihilation. So, Izudia this reek of copium. Let's look at what the Omen does. At least it's not his previous incarnation. Put Annihilation also to your hand, which is the token. Give your leader the following effect. So this is perma. At the start of your opponent's turn, destroy a random enemy follower with 0 attacks or less. So Ding Dong just dies. But that's not all. Evolve. You give -6 attack at the end of your turn to a random enemy with at least 1 attack. This is not stackable. It's removed after activating 3 times. Alright. Let's be frank here. Does it help Aria? No. Does this any other thing in Forest good? No. This can be good in the Evo based deck and whatnot in the future. If the mana goes really slow and you want to slow it down, it's okay. It's a very good Tick 2 card at the release. We also need to look at the token card. Annihilation Onslaught. 1 mana, you can give an enemy follower -6 attack, so it just destroys something. Destroy a random. So even if you the problem with this card is that even if you do -6, 2 followers and 2 followers at 0, they won't die instantly. So take note, it's only once destruction per turn. That's so bad. Enhance 10. Give your leader the following effect. Woo! 7 10, do 20 damage. Woo! Pew! OTK. 10 damage, do nothing. Here's the problem. You're gonna spend 10 play points doing nothing and pray your opponent don't kill you. 10 play point. You know what 10 play point means? You're not Dragoncraft. You're never gonna reach turn 10 in this manner. Let's be very honest here. This review is just an honest, brutal review whether the card is viable or not. And honestly speaking, no. It's really less than viable. It's a very good tick 2 card. This is a strong tick 2 card. Like S tier, because it's free destruction. It gives you a win con which is quite viable in tick 2 at some cases. Maybe not, but it is a viable win con in tick 2 in some cases. The evolve effect is very, very broken in tick 2. Other than that, it doesn't do anything. It's just a very good tick 2 card. It's a very good control card. Art is okay. Not a fan of it. Anyway, how I feel about Force overall, none of this support Sekka indirectly, so you don't have to worry. None of this even like will make Evo that good in my opinion. So overall, Forest Craft players, just play your Sekka. If you refuse to learn it because it's so hard, it's so boring, well, at least you have a actual tier 1 deck. At least you're not this class. Am I right? At least you're not Swordcraft. Let's talk about Swordcraft. Alright, Areas of Hollowness. You know Marie? From Evo Rune? Yeah, this is just him. But, her, him, whatever. It's just that, but, for sword. So, when you play loot cards are the token spell here. You basically evolve it for free, and then whenever you have another ally follower evolve, you randomly get one back. So in theory, you basically play out a loot to evolve it, and then you play out something else to evolve it, like a Doge Detective if you run it. You can just evolve also from manually using evolve points. It's fine, and then you get one loot. This card is really strong because it's self-evolve. The fact that it generates another loot when another thing evolves is also really good synergy, so you don't actually lose a loot for evolving it. The only problem is that you need to spend a loot to do this, so it's okay. It's not a starter though, meaning you can't start this off as your first loot generator. Very strong card. I rate this really good. This is like giga strong. Art is okay. Art is like 5. Viability 5. Very cheap evo. It's very cheap. It doesn't even use it. Like, the important thing about this kind of free evolve card is that it doesn't use evolve point, meaning your evolve point can be spared for other effects. These are free evolve cards which are really good. Unlike the one that usually evolve point, the one that evolve for free by itself automatically evolve are the strongest cards in the evolve deck. Alright, unlike Ultimate Hollow, whatever. There's also loot. Deal 2 damage to an enemy follower. If you have fused all plate for other loot cards this match, you can deal 4 instead and restore 4. So this is a really strong deal 4, heal 4 remover. The fact that it allows you to be plate or fused to count for the 4 others is really good. So if you fuse off plate, so meaning to say you can be like, you have fuse 1 and you have plate 3, and then this thing will activate from what I understand. This is very solid as a remover card. This is a remover. How viable is it? Because you're gonna play loot, it's very viable. Art also is not bad, I like it. She's hot. Octris is hot, so like 7. Viability, it's very viable, honestly speaking, 5. In terms of like how viable this is in the meta game, it's okay because it's like a 1 PP remover. It's also loot. The reason why I keep giving all this loot 5 out of 5 Revelance because of her. Octris, so Hollow Observation. So Hollow Observation it's basically a steal effect, not really but copy. So you select an enemy follower, if it has any last words, you gain those effects. So basically, for example, Ding Dong is the most popular one that you can think of. You can just take Ding Dong's last word and draw 1, so Octris becomes draw 1. Do the same for any Strike, Ward, Storm, Bane, Drain, Rush, Clash. So before I go on, it's gonna be a lot of things that you can steal. Top of my head, I'm gonna put it like the strongest thing you can steal. Havencraft, Holy Lion. Steal his strike and you can take his Holy Lion crystal and copy more of your follower. Ward is a very common line that you will see. Wardhaven, name is Ward, alright. Even in Sekka, you're not going to steal the last word you want. It's not viable unless you're winning the game. You're mostly going to steal Amata's Ward. You're mostly going to steal the Tree of Wonders Ward from Fairy. That's things that you're going to steal. Storm is something that people always say, well, it's a really good steal. It's only good if you're leading. Like, Storm is probably the best if you're ahead. What this means is that if you're leader, you always take the Storm and win, right? Or, if you can steal your opponent's Storm, at the same time remove his enemy, remove the follower, that's fine. Completely fine. Storm will be a great steal. The Bane Rush Drain is probably like whatever. Drain is okay because you get to heal back, but healing doesn't matter this meta. Bane is as a remover, but That's about it. Rush, and you're gonna evolve this anyway. Also Clash, can't think of good Clash effect. There probably is good Clash effect, but yeah. Also, by talking about Strike, you can steal Drugs, AoE, deal equals to defense, and deal 5 damage if your defense is 7. That's kind of crazy as well. So you can also add a loot to your hand, but it's all random, so that's kind of sad. Fanfare though, rarely 8, gain the ability to evolve for 0. So it's really cool that she can evolve for free with evolve points, so that's not bad. Evolve put random of hollowness. Very solid card overall so far, except the fact that the fanfare is not what we care. I only care about this one. So, Remnant of Hollowness. Fusion loot, this is where it comes to tie with the whole fusion thing. You fuse the token card that you generate. Soccer right now has like a decent amount of generation. Outside the one you see right now, there is Lupin, and then there is the Hermit. I won't mention the other 2 bronze card, which is the 3-1 Rush and the Balconeer that gives you a last word follower that give you a loot. Those are not viable, you're never going to use them. It's not that consistent. Hermit is probably like the key one that you want to use. So what this does is that whenever it feels draw 1, really good cycle. In fact, it's not really a cycle since the loot you generated are actually cards in your hand that they're tokens. So technically speaking, you are actually plussing 1 because you are actually going to be drawing 1 from your deck by literally fusing your loots, which are honestly sometimes garbage in some situations, so you can try to top deck something good. Here's where the kicker is. Deal a pool damage of 4 divided between all enemy follower, deal 8. So what this means is that it's a giant chimera, if you guys remember, it will deal damage to the followers first, and then if there are no followers, you deal the rest of the face. So what this means is that it's like Grimnir. This is just 2 BB Grimnir by 8 damage, that's how you see it. And that's how you should build around. So how I feel about this card is that how viable is this is you're probably gonna play the whole Evo package. Kagemitsu is very important because what you want to do is with Kagemitsu in fact you're gonna AoE clear the board. Anyway, the meta is not a board base, so you can clear like, all the small stuff like 4 defense below, and then you can play the spell to deal 8 damage to the face. A really cool OTK you can do is Leon must be pre-evolved on the previous turn, and the turn Leo deals 3 damage AoE to clear the board. You play out Kage from your hand, or even Kage comes out as a leader effect, evolve for 7, AoE 4 again, but you also go face. And then you play Hollowness and its OTK. How? Leo deals 3 plus 3, and then Kagemitsu AoE 4, Storm 2, and then Hollowness 8. That's 20 damage. 6 plus 6 plus 8, 20. So that's a really cool OTK you guys can build around. There will be a video about talking how I want to approach this build. It'll be in the next video. Hopefully that I can release it on time when Shadowverse Portal's up. But yeah, this is how I feel about it. It's just gonna be like Evo Rune, Sword, and you're just gonna build towards 70 Evo for Kagemitsu, and then you're just gonna build towards Fusion for Octris and OTK your opponent or deal a bunch of damage while healing. I think it's not bad. Dude, thank you. Art is great, I love it, beautiful. Viability 5, it's really viable. It's really good loot generation, honestly speaking. Like, we have very decent loot generation. It's quite viable, I'll argue. Will this change meta? I don't know. Because the problem now I have is that, in theory, it sounds good. In practice, it's different because, like, you cannot assume that this is really good when it comes to the actual game, because the problem here is that how often will you use the loot? How often can you fuse? How often do you have space to even like play those generator and still be ahead in the game? So those are the questions that needs to be answered. In theory, this helps a lot because it's gonna give you back 1 loot and it's a free evolve. That's very solid already. This card is a heal 4, so you can stall a little bit or just stall to survive. Not stall a little bit, you can use it to heal and not die. It also acts as a remover. It's also a loot, so you can also fuse it if you really need it. Octris Steel effect is really versatile. Like you can copy effects that will save you the game, like Ward protects your face and stuff like that for you to store. And this is just Grimnir, right? So that's it. I think it has potential. The only problem is that practically it's very hard to tell. It's very practical. I think it's very viable. In practicality wise, personally speaking, it's hard to tell. Again, it comes down to the point that how often do we use the loot, and how often can you fuse those loots? That's all. And how often can you play loot generators and get away with it? And how often can you evolve for 7 while you're playing the whole loot package? Alright, let's move on to the more Copium class. Kill me. Why did we go wrong? Why are you a Whims class? Actually, end me. Alright, let's talk about Runecraft. How do I put it this way? A Heron of Elimination. 3 play points, 0 Storm, baby, must be good! Whenever you play a card +1, so this card has a lot of potential. In the sense that because Rune is known for 0 play point cards, right, with spell boost, or even any other things that's 0 basically. A Heron of Elimination gets stronger as turn goes by, because the more turns you have, the more play points you have, the more you can utilize play cards to make Inherent very strong. You can play 0 play point spells, you can play 1 mana play point spell which you have, and make Inherent very strong. For example, turn 7, if you play out for 3 play point, you play 4 1 mana spell, that's 4 Storm. And then if you also can play like at least 2 0 play point spells, Inherent will be 6 attack. That's the idea behind Inherent of Elimination. That's the idea. However, I don't know if it's very viable and practical. I don't think it's that great. It's too much work, and honestly speaking, it's not worth it. 3 play point for a very situationally 4 1 play point spells to make it forced attack storm. It's not worth it for 3 play point. It's okay. It's better than the silver for Forest at the release. It's okay. Art is, I kind of like that. I dig the art. Like, I love people with hoodies, alright. I have a thing for hoodies, alright. It is what it is. And he has like these ring things. Oh, dude, I really like his entire art as well. He has tattoo over him. Oh, beautiful. What a beautiful man. Beautiful man. Before we talk about Elimination Unleashed, we need to talk about the bad boy, because it is more like a combo blade. Ryo, Truthful Elimination. That will eliminate my hope towards Runecraft. Alright, why are you the truth? Why do you look so hot and yet I don't want to play you? It's like that repulsed relationship you had where your partner is hot but they're toxic. So you like sex or my mental health? Then you have to choose. Then you ask yourself, I'd rather play card game. Anyway, so during your turn, when this card is added to your hand from your deck, review it and put the token spell, I'm not going to pronounce that, alright, into your hand, and then fanfare, change the cost of all your cards in your deck to 1. Evolve, deal 9 damage to all enemy followers. Get full evolve stats for 11/11. Why is it so good? At the same time, it's so bad. Alright, to give you guys an understanding why this is so depressing. 1, the effect is really strong and broken. The cost is a problem. So 9 play points. 9 play points is way too slow in the meta game. If you're expecting this to be played at 9, you're gonna ask for a lot of trouble. Because in this meta game, most games end at turn 7, turn 6. With Aria being a thing, Last Word being a thing as well. Ward also can change the time of the game when they play Saber on 8. So turn 9 is just very slow. However, there is 2 ways around it. Let's not talk about way number 2. Way number 1. The reason why we reviewed this before this, so that we can talk about this. Elimination Unleashed. What do you mean 7 play point? Actually, we haven't even talked about the token spell. Let's talk about token spell first. So token spell, you basically change the attack and defense of an enemy follower and another random 1 to 1/1. So this means that if your opponent has like very scary big boys, thick ass beefy boys, change them to 1/1s, and then you can stall for a turn. Why is this relevant? Because of this. Elimination Unleashed. 6 play point. Recover 3 play point after playing this. Randomly put one of the highest cost follower, Runecraft only, from your deck to your hand. If it costs at least 9 play point, subtract 2 from its cost. The idea is you use this to grab Ryo. Ryo becomes 7 play point. You recover 3 play point. Because Ryo's effect trigger when you add it to hand, you get this token spell. Token spell will be played to stall, and then you place out, evolve it, and deal 9 and Prega. So you might be wondering, wow, Mr. Streamer, it looks really consistent and good. Yes, if the meta is back in 2020, to be honest, or in 2021. I think in 2021 at some point, this will be a very powerful card. I think a track 117. Truth to be told, Ryo is very strong. Truth to be told, Ryo is giga strong. If your opponent break or they couldn't kill you, you play this, and your turn 8, you can draw a lot of cards. Insane. So let's talk about the problem that we have with Ryo. One is that it changes the cost of all the cards in your deck to 1, meaning you need to draw them out from your deck. So this means like you need to do like 0 play point draw if you want to utilize it. Turn 7. You can't even utilize it on turn 7. What am I talking? On turn 8, you need to do a lot of like draw 2. And when you draw 2, you need to pray that you basically draw 2 good cards. It's very RNG as well, but it's really, really good. It's very strong. So there is that. In spell boost, it's kind of iffy because you are drawing 1 cost spells. Sorry, you're drawing 1 cost cards, but not 9 boosted cards. Very, very important. What this means is that cooldown is at 0. However, cards like Chrono Witch is at 1, so that's really, really good. And spells at 1 is okay. I don't know. Like spell boost is just too iffy. The real topic will be with Whims of Chaos. Alright, let's talk about the bad boy. So, assuming you're like, but I didn't draw this on 6. Well, Whims of Chaos is the best friend. Whims of Chaos, change Ryo to at least 6 play point. Play out Ryo, evolve it, boom. Your entire deck becomes 1 play point. You must be wondering, but Whims changes the cost of your 10 to like 9 or 10 unplayable. Your hand, not your deck. This means if you are playing cards like, let me just paint you a picture. Elimination grabs literally, this is how it worded everything. Because all your rune cards become 1 cost, it grabs you anything in the deck. It could be low roll, it could be high roll, you can grab the stupid bird if you want, but Elimination Unleash can literally grab you anything in the deck. You can grab a 1 PP Folia, you can grab a 1 PP Golem. 1 PP anything you want. Elimination becomes crazy as well because if by Whim's effect, it becomes like 3 play points. Elimination becomes 3 play point for free to add a card and reduce its cost. Reduce its cost to 2 by the way, so it's 0 play point, so I didn't even mention that. If at least 9 though. Oh, never mind, at least 9, doesn't matter. But yeah, it's 0 play point, no, yeah, it can be 0 play point to add 1. So it just works a lot of ways. And like with Whims, if you haven't played Whims before, Whims draw a lot. I also have a video where I play Whims, you guys can watch that video to understand how Whims work. Also speaking, that video showed a lot of the scenes where I draw a lot of cards. I'll just put links somewhere, but honestly speaking, Whims is gonna be very, very strong in Ryo, and if you want me to be honest, scary viability. 5/5. 6/5. Let's be real, in terms of like Whims, talking is very, very good. Like, if you talk about in the sphere of Whims, is Whims gonna be a good deck? Whims is gonna be tier 2 at the very least. This is just really, really strong. However, Whims do a lot of random generator numbers, so it's not RNG involved. But if the RNG number hit right, and it should hit right even more because Ryo just makes it more consistent. You get all 1 play point cards. You're good to go. Honestly speaking, you're really, really good to go. Does Whims even need him? Yeah, Whims can use him. Whims can use him really, really well. Ryo is a very unique card. The problem with Ryo is that it's turn 7. We're going into the most sex class of all. Oh, are you guys ready? Oh yes. Oh baby. Probably the best one in my opinion. So we move on to Dragon Class, Adherent of Eldor, Fanfare, if overflow is active for you, blah blah blah, deal 1 damage to another and its follower. So once per turn, whenever this takes damage, and if it's not destroyed, deal 2 damage to the enemy leader. It's a really good self-paying card because it's 1 play point. The only problem is that it's overflow, so unlike the traditional silver disdain where it just activates, this one is overflow, so it's a bit rough, and also it deals damage to itself. But it does have an effect where whenever it takes damage and it's not destroyed, you deal 2 to the enemy leader. So a few problems here. One, if you're not playing Boss Dragon and you're playing Rowan, you will kill this thing and it will not deal 2 to the enemy leader. Very important fact if you are building your deck, keep in mind of that interaction. You will be surprised that, oh, you're playing this at deal 2 for this. Oh wait, why my order died? Because your Rowan also deal 2 damage to yourself. Smart. So keep in mind of that interaction. Don't blow up your order for no reason. Just Rowan team. Just don't blow up your teammate. Alright. Overall solid card. I also like the art. It's a very hot, sexy man. Red hair with horns, sexy. 8 though, not hot, but 8. Viability. I actually 4. I don't think it's that viable. You might not even run it because I don't think that's really that important because the card we're going to talk about is even more important. You still run it though maybe for like the distinct purposes, but like Garmilks is very self-sustained. We'll talk about Garmilks later, but Garmilks is very self-sustained. You might not even need Odor actually. I don't think this card is that good now I think about it. Because you're 100% gonna use Rowan with this. You're gonna use Rowan with this, so there's a chance where you don't use this actually. Alright, next. Ardent Torch. Oh, she is perfect. It's a plus that I even like her Seiyu. Oh. Alright, Ardent Torch. Give an ally follower the following effects and then deal 1 damage to it. Whenever this follower takes damage, if it's not destroyed, draw a card. So number 1, it works with literally any cards in Dragoncraft because it's a very generic card. You can even give it to Ding Dong. Ding Dong will prop its shield effect and you can basically draw 1. You can even use it in Buff Dragon. Why can you use it Buff Dragon? Well, let's just say the buff has very thick defense. And then you just trade and draw. This card, in general, is a 1 mana draw 2 for generic dragon cards. That's how good Ardent Torch is. It's not just viable. Beyond viable. New core. It's a new core card. You are gonna use this forever, in my opinion. This card is one of the strongest dragon support you have seen so far. This card is just so versatile, so core. You're gonna use this. You're gonna play 3 copies of this. No questions. Doesn't need overflow. Uses to. It can be used to anything. Can be used early game. Splashable in almost every deck. Good with Garmilks that we're gonna see next. Crazy. Insane card. Draw 3 with Ding Dong. Yeah. Draw 3 with Ding Dong. This card is just insane. Crazy. Ardent Torch will be the new backbone. This is your one way of arguing I can consistently draw cards and it's not a bad draw like Natural Dragon. This is gonna make Dragon very, very powerful. If you ask me what makes Dragon powerful, is this card. Garmilks is the second reason. Torch is the main reason. 1 play point, draw 1 to 2. Crazy card. Like, it's so powerful. New core, right? Like, no doubt. This is one of the most powerful Dragon cards I've ever seen right now. Like, if you want me to be honest, what makes Buff Dragon problematic will be the draw. Ardent Torch solves all your problem. It solves it. Honestly speaking, it solves it. Let's go to the mummy itself. Garmilks added a disdain voiced by my favorite Seiyu Azuzuka Tororoka. Oh, can't wait to play my Garmilks leader again. Fanfare, put a disdainful rending to your head. Oh, I miss you. Disdainful rending is a 1 mana spell where you deal 1 damage to your allied follower, and then you deal 3 damage to an enemy follower. Strong card, good card. Next. Then, if you have 10 play points, you put Fang of Ardent Destruction in the hand. So, what is the token? Oh, baby. Let me tell you the token. Give 1/1 to an allied follower. Deal 1 damage to it. Sure. If it's Garmilks, give it Storm. Then, deal 2 damage to all enemy follower. What a beautiful card. What a absolutely beautiful card. Oh, it's not over yet. Evolve. Give your leader the following effect. Once on each turn, when an ally follower takes damage, smiley face. If it's not destroyed, put the token to your hand. How crazy is this card, chat? So let me explain. So, you get a 1 spell which allows you to combo with her already. So on on 6th play point, Garmilks is active with this, not even overflow. You can activate this to get the trigger for your leader effect. Evolve Garmilks to become a 5/5. Use this effect, and then you get the spell because you evolve it, and then you use the spell, and then she becomes a 6 attack storm. Crazy. There's just so much implementation you can do. Like, it works well with Rowan. because you can do extra damage with it. The only problem with Roman is that Roman deals 2 damage to Gamux herself, so you have to be very careful and count if she survives from all the pings that you're dealing to herself. But you will survive. For example, Emani and Rowan, right? So what you would do is that you play this out, you get the Rending. Rending Gamux will be 3 defense, and then afterwards you get the spell. Obviously you evolve this before you use the Rending. Play the spell, you give 1/1 first, so Gamux is a 4/4, and then you deal 2 damage. So Gamux will be at 2 HP with the Rowan effect, and then it will do AoE 3 damage, and then it will become a 6/6 storm, and then it will go face for 7. Very balanced. Oh wait, did I mention if you use this, you draw 3 cards? So what this means, play Gamux, evolve her, play a new spell, she takes 1 damage, draw 1, leader effect, get a token, deal more damage, and then draw 1. That's 2 cards, sorry. 3 cards, why? I forgot, Rending as well. You can Rending on Gamux, and then draw 3. Honestly speaking, if you think whatever I say is weak, you need to understand. You need to like revisit your core in Shadowverse. Like this is just really strong. Draw cards, remove board, deal face. She doesn't heal, yeah, but it doesn't matter. I think healing is not alright anyway. It's very good in the meta game. It's very good in future games. It's very good in every situation. Gamux and Torch, you're just gonna run 2 of them 3 in every deck. That's all. It's just that good. For Shadowcraft, honestly speaking, I think it's a good support for the wrong meta. Arrow of Screams, art looks okay, a bit jank, but okay. The sword looks cool. Except to reanimate 3. Fanfare, reanimate 3. So let's put it this way. This is very good if we have a lot of like relevance in reanimating 3. So one that keeps in mind is that this card, this is 3 play points, so they want to reanimate this. However, there could be other information. Ceres is 3 play point. You can always use this to reanimate Ceres, series, Ceres, whatever series, to play back the OTK deck. And Herald of Scream is very viable, so you take note of that. Art is okay, it's like a 4, not bad. Viability, not at the moment, it's like a 3. If you want to like keep having series evolve and series OTK sync, you can use this card. This card is quite viable in that sense. For series OTK, Spiteful Screams, one of the most talked about cards in town. Select a follower and play. If it's an enemy follower, remove all its effect except changes to its attack or defense. If it's an ally follower, activate its last word. This card is really powerful. What it means is that you activate its last words. So for example, if you have series deal damage effect and the fish, you use it on them, they will deal 3 damage from series effect and 2 damage from the last words. It will activate all its last words. So basically, it can be used in OTK purposes with series. This is very talked about right now. I think there's an OTK going around with Spiteful Streams and stuff, and people are trying a lot of ways to play this. That's one. Number 2, it doesn't actually destroy your last word, so it just activates it. So for example, if you think playing this thing activates the 10 last word effect, no. The 10 last word, it literally says if last words followers are destroyed equals to 10. It doesn't say that last words activate 10 times. It's really different. So you have to keep mindful of that. I think it's mostly going to be used in like last words. You can also use it in Real Eye, which is okay. Viability like 4. Art is pretty cool, like Dio. Very high potential in series OTK. Very high potential. You can use this in series OTK. You got 30 on turn 7. Alright. Let's go. Real Eye, Screaming Silence. You can win on turn 6? That fast? Alright, Real Eye, Screaming Silence. Rush. 3 play point to 1. Fanfare gains X equals number. Real Eye, Screaming, destroyed this match. If X is at least 10, deal 3 damage to an enemy leader and then banish this follower and an enemy follower random. Last words, put Scream Diffusion to your hand. Evolve is the same effect. Ooh, Scream Diffusion. So, first of all, this is a loop card. It's the same as like Nicola in the past. It's a bit different though. If goddamn, if what's his name? If Arcus exists, this card is pretty okay. The spell Scream Diffusion. Okay, this card is a bit nuts. Summon X 1 play 1 card Real Eye without last words. X equals the number of Real Eye destroyed this match. Necromancy 3, put Real Eye Screaming Silent to your hand. So when you play this card and you have 3 Necromancy, which you probably are because it's very, very easy to get, you can put it back to your hand. You can summon all this Real Eye, kill all this Real Eye, play out this Real Eye against the attack, destroy this Real Eye, play it out because you have the Scream Diffusion again and summon a bunch of it. So in a meta that requires a lot of board clear on turn 4 and 5, this is one of the most broken setup cards you can ever get. So the idea of this is that you're basically on turn 1 and turn 2, you just play something against shadows. Turn 3, you play Real Eye and trade and get the token spell. This one. Right here, you get this one. And then turn 4, you play the token spell and get the 3 BP version back to your hand because you have 3 Necromancy, right? Turn 3, you play out the Real Eye and trade, you get a token spell. So Real Eye and something on the board to gain shadows, like 1 shadow equals another shadow here, 2 shadow. You play a token spell, that's 3 shadow, you get Necromancy 3 and get a 3 play point version in your hand. You play out and both trade. So when both of them trade again, you get the token spell, right? Turn 5, play the spell, you get 3. 1 destroyed, 2 destroyed, and you get back Necromancy 3 back, 3 play point version. You play out the 3 play point version, you kill the whole board, and you get back the spell because you basically kill the original version. Play out for 5 Real Eye. So 1 card, just 1 card and maybe 1 shadow, 1 card can get you this value. This insane infinite trade almost value, and it's crazy. If you rebirth it, does it not count as a 1 BP? You can rebirth it. If you give it, it doesn't have the last word, take mine. So you need to rebirth it with Retracing the Past. 1 card. 1 card. Literally just full trade. So this card, in terms of viability, honestly speaking, is very viable. Like, if the meta is great. Art is 5. I don't really enjoy it. 5 in 2020, 0 in 2022. It's only good if you have high value trade. It's only good and you can full trade with it. It's really good in 2020, 2021, honestly speaking, where Pro Right is a thing. But like, it's very bad in 2022 because 2022 you just want to win games. Next part, Bloodcraft. One of the most anticipated card because everyone is just so horny about her. So Bloodcraft, Blood, Inherent of Desire. Fanfare, deal 1 damage to your leader. If Avarice is active for you, gain +1/1. So wait, it's not +2/2, it's a +1. This 1 mana, that's not that great. Evolve, if Wrath is active for you, deal 2 damage AoE to all enemy followers. So this is only good if you need the AoE damage and like if it's relevant and bot doesn't even matter at this point. But another important factor is that we already have like a good AoE card in my opinion, aka Vulneric. Let me be very honest, aka Vulneric with this Desire. So Inherent might not even be like Desire might not even be good. Like this card, it's only decent. I think it's like not that viable at all. Honestly, it's like R is good. R is like 7. 3. It's okay. It has some place because like Wrath is actually not bad. Loading Desire, give a drain to Bloodcraft follower. Do 1 damage to your leader. So what else to say besides crazy? You can use this in early game. You can give drain to your you give drain to your ambush follower. You can give drain to your any follower, generally speaking, that has Rush on 1. You can give drain to your demons that you can play out. It's just really, really strong. And also it's self-ping, so it's like 1 mana self-ping drain, just everything that Blood wants. It's crazy. As usual, sucks. Yeah, it's really good. The spell is really, really strong. There's no doubt in this mind that this is really, really strong. It's not as crazy as like not as crazy as the dragon one. It's only okay in my opinion. You can drain to Vulnerate, can give drain to your to your ambush. And basically, you can give range a lot of things. It's not bad. Bionic Lustful Desire. Mummy? Oh. Oh. Yes. 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 If my video gets demonetized, I'm not even monetized, it doesn't matter. YouTube, you can't demonetize something that's not even monetized. YouTube, you can't. Can't. Anyway, Full Wing of Desire, if Rob is activated, plus 2/2, so it's a 3/5. It's a 3/5 on Rav. Last words, if Rav is activated, put 7 Maneric without the last word to your hand. So, to your deck. So you basically put back good cards in your deck, which is fine. Wing of Desire. Give a follower effect. Strike, deal 1 damage to all enemy and ally. Keep it the same effect again. So you can like basically on 5 you play Valeric, enhance 2 on this, and AoE 2. This is a really crazy card. Just insane actually. Now I think about it. It's just a new call. Mommy. You get 1 last words. Alright, overall I think Blood will be tier 1. Because right now they're also just lacking a little bit. And they have Urias. Urias is one of the most crazy cards. They will keep all tempo deck on check. They can sort of fight Forest now because they have the aggro game plan. And they can drain with Loathing Desire. So they have a chance. I will argue they have a chance. They have a decent chance. Another very important fact is that because Fairy Pings don't activate during their turn because of Urias effect, this is also a really good way to fight Forest in some manner. I'm leaving the Copium that Blood can beat Forest now, hopefully. Alright, Inherent of Despair. During your turn, if the first follower never attack this turn, give your leader the following effect. The next time your leader takes damage, reduce that damage to 0. Evolves, destroy the enemy follower. This guy is really... To be honest, it's quite solid the fact that it has evolve, destroy an enemy follower. So it has a good evolve effect for good stalling. Number 2, but you already have so many evolve in Haven that you probably can't even afford to do this. It's probably more relevant than the fact that it becomes 1 damage stop for burst. It does stop bursts, but not bursts that have multiple damage over turn. So it's okay, it's not a bad card. It's very situationally good. Like art wise, There we go. Eternal Despair. This is how every single Unlim player feels right now. 3 play point. At the end of your turn, if no ally followers in play have attacked, restore 2 to your leader and draw a card. This is just really good with the whole Disdain, the whole Balrog part. The Repose archetype in Unlimited. This is just giga strong, honestly speaking. This is like free proc every fucking turn. It also restores 2, not just 1, and it also draws you a card. This is just giga value. You can play this over Zoe now. You're not gonna play Zoe in my opinion, you just have to play this now. I mean, art is pretty good. I like the art. I like the whole Nirvana art. It's kinda 8. It's very good. Viability, 3. Alright, let's talk about the boy that have jacked up. Not even jacked up actually. He lost his weight and then he jacked up. So the man lost fats and then he poof. Despairs repose. So repose. At the end of your turn, if this follower didn't attack, destroy all other follower. Beautiful. 4 play point by the way. If this follower has 4 followers has been destroyed by this effect, put Torrent Despair. What Torrent Despair is, very simple, very easy, 1 PP Torrent Despair. Banish an enemy follower amulet. Goodbye Factory, goodbye Lishanna's amulet that we're gonna talk about later. Goodbye anything. Literally, Torrent Despair is really giga strong. However, the viability of this card in the meta where bot is not good is very questionable. However, this is just a 4 mana Termis. Marvin is just a 4 mana Termis. This is one of the strongest control card that is cheap we have seen for a long time. If there's anything that will bring back control Heal Haven or even like just control in general, Marvin is a key card. This card is really good. In combination with Malone, you have so much removal, AoE removal that even if we go back to the good old days of mid-range meta, Haven will probably reign supreme in Marvin. Like Marvin is just really strong in the meta game where mid-range is gonna be strong. So it's just gonna take time. Like I believe one day COPIUM we will actually have a game where we can interact, and Marvin will just stop the interaction anyway. Like, in a meta game, like, it probably will see less play, basically. Does it have use both fanfare? Yes! Yes, it does. Yes, it does. This is the official translation. Yes, it does use both fanfare. Like, you choose the follower and the amulet. Yeah, she killed. Yeah, okay. First of all, she killed. Second of all, Boba. Third of all, Licks. Fifth, she killed. So that's one thing very important. I think all the new cards are very cute. She's a cute shy type, I like her. Or she's a crazy type, which I'm also into. Fanfare, destroy another allied Portalcraft follower and put a copy of it to your hand. Fanfare, destroy an allied craft amulet without counter put your hand. So basically this card, if you have a follower and one of these destruction amulet, right, you literally just put both in your hand. She's 2 mana plus 2. She's really solid, like, pluses. And if we're talking about a slow meta game, oh, beautiful. She accelerates the fact that you can have multiple amulets in the field, which is really good. Honestly speaking, the fact that the amulets are only 8 play points, right? We'll talk about amulets later, but actually we should talk about amulet first because I feel all of them are like only relevant to that amulet. So, the Shadow. Oh, my queen, she's back with a new drip, with a new oh, look at her, dude. She finally became producer. You either die as an idol or live long enough to become a producer. Fanfare, choose one of the following in your hand. If you have 10, put all 3 instead. New prayer, which is a new white in hue. New destruction, which is a new black in hue. Black deal damage, doesn't do AoE though, Sash. Melodious Monody, probably the one that, in my opinion, the most easiest to take besides the amulet. Can't be destroyed by effects, great. Evolve! Reanimate 012. Reanimate a puppet, enhance puppet, and reanimate a 2-drop. Yeah, she just screams so much support. So let's look at her token first before we talk about effects. New prayer. This time 8 play point. Ally follower destroy, subtract 1, the same as the old effects. Fanfare, restore 4. So on Fanfare it already heals 4. Great. Can't be destroyed. Start of a turn, heal 2. If new destruction is on play, which is a black, restore 4 instead. So it's really cheap, very fast in my opinion, because what happens is that the shadow is already 4 reduced, so this is already 4 reduced. All you need to do, literally the next turn, play out like a few of the puppets card. You can even play out, arguably you can play out the mountain. That's 3, right? And then if you have another puppet in hand previous turn, you can basically just trade all 4, and then you play on new prey for 0, and then heal for 4. In that sense, it's really fast. You can get it out really quickly. Lishana is just really cool. This type of art, and like new prey is very fast as well. And same with new destruction, they're really fast. So new destruction instead, fanfare deal 4. Take note, this is one of the scariest turbo destruction I've seen. Like basically because of how she evolves on turn 4, if you go in second, you instantly honestly will get like 4 play point destruction, and then like you just play out cards, destroy 4 more cards, it becomes like 0. Destruction becomes 4, and every turn you deal 2 to the enemy leader. Deal 4 if you have the white. So the problem here is that 1, you cannot get both of them easily anymore. Like back then you can get both out because they are packaged. You play the white and then you get the black. Melodious Melody. Destroy an ally Portalcraft follower or Portalcraft follower without countdown of follower amulet. Deal 3 damage to a random enemy follower and then 1 play point to enemy leader. So 1, this is a very good kind of like a middle ground choice if you want me to be very honest. Why is it a good middle ground choice? If you are not going to be playing for the amulets, you can just pick this, take this card, trade with one of the puppets, play this on the puppet. You can even play this on the puppet that's not going to do anything and like get value out of it. It's a really good tech card. I think this channel is more of a standalone card. So if you don't look at her archetype, which is the destruction and prayer, you can play this channel as a 4 play point rally 4, destruction 4, and then you can pick this card and destroy one of the cards. You can even pick Lishana, actually, my bad. Pick Lishana, pop them, and you have a very strong tempo. So Lishana could be played like a very tempo based aggro each card attack instead of just focusing on the prayer and destruction thing. However, there are ways to like, if you want to play the new Destruction and Prayer archetype, there's also a way to get multiple Lishana back. Melody returns. So be right, put a copy of that follower into your hand. And then if at least 10 followers have been destroyed this game, put a copy, random copy, 3 play point, 4 play point. So the thing though is that if you're playing Lishana purely for the black and white, and you want to loop Lishana back to the hand with the Melody returns, you cannot play cards like Leech and stuff like that. All the 3 play point cards will basically dilute the randomness for Melody returns, so you have to like be careful of that. However, Melody return does allow you to like basically have Lishana, so you can bring a random card like Puppet. It also comes with 1 destruction, which is really good, really solid. You can get rid of Lishana, play out Lishana, and probably be 10 destroyed at that point, and then you can get back all 3 effects, and then you can evolve Lishana if you have evolve points and get back all of them back, and then you can just -4 from all your new Prayer and Destruction. So very solid. However, Melody Returns is more gonna be used in Artifact. You use this to right followers that are very hard to be played, or you don't want to play them from your hand, artifacts. Because the problem with artifacts sometimes is that the followers get banished, right? So you can use this to right, let's say, bifurcating. You can bifurcating, right, and then you can put it back to your hand. The important part is, oh, I get back a bifurcating for fucks? No! The point is, you get bifurcating destroyed for the different name. So this is 1 play point, different artifact name with bifurcating combo. That's one thing. Another thing is that it's a 1 play point reduction cost for your artifact shifts. Another thing, because it's come to play with Factory, it's a 1 play point cycle. It's an insight. Melody Returns is an insight with Factory. Yes, this is an artifact card. The more I talk about it, the more it looks really good for artifact. All of you artifact players can rejoice. You finally got your insight for Factory. Yeah, Melody is a great card. We're moving on, alright? Melody is really good because, like, again, the game plan is to play down this one. So if you are trying to like be very aggressive, you can basically just have the black destruction out already. Play out Adherent. Adherent will literally destroy black, destroy and add it to your hand, and then you can get another ally follower to hand. The only problem is that one, she destroys ally craft followers. So her problem is that she will nuke one of your followers. She won't put back a copy to your hand, but she will kind of like she kind of basically will not create a bot for you. That's one thing really good about her, to be honest. Another thing is that you can use it to recycle puppets, I guess. For example, you can use a puppet to trade into Ding Dong. You can use it to kill the puppet and get back the puppet in hand, and then it accelerates the number of destroyed cards. So in theory, she's not bad. And her Melody is not bad in theory. She's very solid, and then like it goes without saying that she can get back Amulet back to the hand. So what ability wise, the Hera Melody is okay only. It's like a 3. So we get the Cherry support. This time it's not that bad. I think like because back then the fact that you had to like play one of everything, that's why I don't like Jerry. But now you can play around it. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, second Evan. You fight damage to a random enemy follower. Random means you can target ambush, that's great. Not target, but you can hit ambush, that's great. If there's no duplicate in your decks, draw a card. Recover 2 play points and evil point. Wow. So it's basically essentially 2 play point removal. And also you can use it to draw cards because even if your opponent don't have followers, you can still play out to deal no damage because it's random. And then because you will basically draw a card and recover play point evil. I think you might use this actually the more I look at this. If you're playing Jerry, you probably will use this, but I'm not too sure how viable this is. It's very hard to tell. Do you even need this? I guess it's a free cycle. The great one, Lord Jerry, Pucci himself. Pucci looks very hot as well now. So what does Lord Pucci does? Fanfare. It is just a Jerry tier. Banish all duplicates in your deck. Then if you have at least 20 cards in your deck, give your leader the following effect. So it does still makes you want to play Highlander. How it works is that you just need to play 20 type of cards. What this means is that you must have 20 different cards in your deck. However, the ratios could be mix and match. There's already like a ratio that will work in the sense that people has already figured out. I will leave the link in the description for Fina's one, but you can take a look here first. So these are the numbers. Here you can see them. I'm not going to talk much in great details about it, but in my opinion, the great number that I personally feel is probably the first box, which is the fact that you can play 7 1-drops, 7 1-copy cards, 9 2-copy cards, and 5 3-copy cards. That's actually a lot of ratios and consistency already, so that's great. Fina has pointed out, I'll leave the link in the description, you guys can look at it if you like. However, end of your turn, if any allied follower that costs 6 or less are in place, that means if major buffs are in play, basically, deal 5 damage to a random enemy follower. And then, this is the one that's really good, if followers are cost 6 at least in play, deal 3 damage to the enemy leader. This is not stackable last for the rest of the game. If all put a great Testamy into your hand. This one's really good because your deck building wise is actually quite consistent, right? The ratios are very strong. Like the fact that you can run up to like 5 to 7 3 copies, I think that's good enough. And you can still run 2 copy cards. This is actually very viable. Testamy, destroy an enemy follower. If 20 cards are in your deck, deal 3 damage to an enemy leader. Let me just put it this way. If Rune is on the field and you play Manager Bane, if Rowan's on the field and you evolve this, you're gonna be taking 8 damage. Even without Rowan, chat, you're taking 6 damage. Think about that for a second. With Rowan, this is every turn, because you're gonna play Dragoncraft, every turn deal 4 damage to the face. And then, if you save this with Rowan, 4 damage to the face. That's why I say Dragon is gonna be really good with this. And like, Dragon is also RAM, so like, it incentivizes it. And one important factor is that because of how Dragoncraft is, you have very garbage RAM cards like Ignis Dragon. You can run 3 Ignis and banish the other rest of the fucking Ignis, and like, you'll be fine. You're not gonna be worried about drawing Ignis being a dead card. You'll be banishing those Ignis and you'll be fine. So I think Jerry is really good in Dragon. Other classes, I don't talk about it too much, but the one that stood up the most is Dragon. Art is okay a 4. Measure by grade 1, it's okay, it's an 8. It has a lot of combo play with Rowan. This card is just really strong in Dragon. Alright, talk about the COPIUM cards today. Nectar of Thirst is the token. And then Guinelis, the waifu that had made every teenage boy have their first erection. Maybe not. Manifest Destiny. Sorry, I almost say Manifest Destiny. I'm sorry, Americans. I shouldn't meme on you too hard, but dude, I cannot not laugh at Manifest Destiny, dude. Manifest Thirst. This is where America took the horny route instead of the religious route. Give both leaders the following effect. At the end of your turn, if 5 or less cards are in your hand, draw a card. Not stackable, lasts for the rest of the match. Both leader. 1. This is really good if your deck lacks draw power. 2. In the meta full of Forest and Shadow actually cares about this. Forest doesn't care. Forest is gonna be so much hand that they actually wouldn't be able to like hit the condition to draw one. They probably appreciate this in the early game with Arya, so you can play this in the mid game so that they don't value. However, you just have to play this out, in my opinion. I think at this point, a perma effect that benefits you more than your opponent, it helps. Like if you're playing aggro, you're playing, I don't know if aggro can even use this, but if you're playing any deck that needs resources and draw because you keep playing cards or you run out of resources, Manifestors is a really strong card. Manifestors care more about decks like the Shadow decks and the Blood deck. Like if you play against them, they'll be very happy. Where will you use this card? It's very hard to sell. It's very hard to tell, but it's okay. It's okay. I really love this card because they use the hand very quickly. Yeah, Dragon loves it, I guess. Viability, and it's like a 2. If it's 1 PP, actually it would be really good, but the fact it's 2 PP is very slow. Alright, Guinelis, Thirst and Craving. Invocation and start of your turn. If both leaders have 10 play points, pain. Invoke this card, then put Nectar of Thirst in your hand. If both players has 10 play points, 2 play points, 2/2. The rain. Evolve, give a follower +2 and -2. So 1, you can give it to yourself if you read the text correctly. 3, It's good in mono, I guess. You can evolve and give Mono the stats. Mono will be at 3 defense if she has Vengeance. Mono +1, and then you just fuse, and then Mono evolve, and then Gunalis will also get Storm. So with Mono and Gunalis on turn 5, this is turn 5. If you have Vengeance, this is a decent damage, I guess. 8, 12 damage turn 5. Drain for 4. Yeah, decent. The evolve effect is very good as well. You can drain for 6. You can remove followers and stuff. Alright, you'll probably never see this in the Day of Light. Like, Nectar of Thirst. Deal 5 to the enemy leader. Restore 5 to your leader. Draw 5 cards. Give the leader the following effects. At the start of your next turn, randomly discard 5 from your hand. This card is so busted. Like this card, if you ever reach that stage and you're playing Gunalis, your opponent will just lose. You might deck out though. She's okay in the early tempo, I understand. I don't think she's cracked. I think she's good, that's all. Well, sex. Obviously. Viability? 3. I'll put it this way. If the meta does become slow, she's your new world. Like, she's your new Zargania. You're gonna play in every deck. Every deck's gonna run her. If games goes turn 10, which you'll never get, like take 2, Nectar of Thirst is Nectar of Thirst is not fine. If games ever go to turn 10, this thing is not fine at all. This thing is not fine. I'll put it this way, this thing is not fine. This thing is not fine. It is good even if the meta is fast. Yeah, aggro, yeah. 2 drain is good, yeah. 2 drain is good. If the meta goes giga slow, dude, start with 10 randomly discard 5. That's just fucking keg W. Emergency 6 is generally healed. It's good. It's okay. It's alright. So how I feel about this whole expansion? I'll put it this way. TLDR, play Sekka or Forest. TLDR, in theory, the loot should work because you have OTK, you have really good cycle, you can evolve for 7. Practically, we don't know because the meta might hurt all the game plan that this deck wants to do. So this, in theory, it could be 1 out of 5. Whim support and the story. If you want me to be very honest, I think Ryo, maybe you can see light in some sort of like slow matchups where Ryo could basically be played for his pure deck, and then you can use Ryo effect to throw into it 1 play point, Folia, 1 play point, Golem, etc. etc. However, I just play Whims with Ryo, honestly speaking. Dragoncraft is so good that this is literally a new engine. You're gonna play 3 copy of Alan Torch and Garmix in literally every Dragon deck. Every Dragon deck will play 3 Torch, 3 Garmix. The silver is debatable. I don't think the silver is gonna be played all the time, but maybe 2 copy or maybe 3 copy, we never know. Shadow! A lot of potential for OTK Celeste. Series, sorry. This thing can reanimate series. This thing can prop series last word effect, deal damage. Real Eye is not good for series because you want to reanimate 3, right? It's a good full trade. Like with Real Eye, you can always full trade. However, it just creates like a very weak one defense body, which can be clear anyway in this meta. So it's not that good. It's okay. It's okay. Blood, probably the second one that has a lot of potential besides Dragon. Could potentially become tier 1 because of all the aggro cards you get. Desire is okay. The problem is that we already have a lot of AoE cards that you don't need it. Lottering Desire, the healing is good. Drain is really good. Drain is always welcome, as we mentioned. Vulnerate, Giga Strong, it's a Storm card, and it can be AoE 2 if you have 2 play points. For Heavencraft, they have very good unlimited support. A Herald Despair is okay. Anti-OTK card. It has some niche use, but not really good use. Eternal Despair is the unlimited card, don't think too much about it. 3 play points, heal 2, draw 1. You're probably going to replace Zoe, I think. Don't call me on that. In rotation, it's good if Heal Haven is good. It's decent. It's okay. The total value you get is 6 heal and draw 3. It's okay. That's all I'm going to say. It's okay. Marvel Despair, it's a very, very strong card if it's, the mid-range is meta, but if it's not, it's only decent. This is a tech card. If you need to remove bots, like let's say Burrite back then, where you just keep spamming 4/4 leech non-stop, Marvin is the best friend. But the mid-range meta is less viable these days anyway, so probably not gonna see much play. However, if you do, Marvin's gonna be good. So for Polarcraft, overall, the new Lishana archetype is very interesting in a way that if we do get into like a decent speed meta, like 10-8, I would say 10-8, then Lishana could be used. Lishana is very interesting. Practically, from what I've been counting, you can probably reduce the amulets 10-5, 10-6 very fast and easily. The 2PP Silver is a cute card, but I don't know if she's good early, honestly. I don't even know if you want to use her. Managing Return is an artifact core card. It's a 1 mana cycle for Paradigm Shift. Sorry, it's a 1 PP reduced Paradigm Shift. It's a 1 PP cycle with Factory because you just kill a freaking bifurcating, add it back to your hand and draw 1, and then you recover 1 play point for fucks. And then Lishana is just it could be good in aggro, honestly speaking. It's not bad. For neutral, Murder Bane is gonna be strong. I think Murder Bane is actually interesting this time. Unlike last time, Hyrule play Highlander. This time interesting because you have a lot of ratio you can build. You can make a very interesting deck list that might work and might not work. I think Murder Bane is very interesting to build. The leader effect is like a bit lackluster in some classes. However, it's okay. I think it's not the worst thing in the world. It's decent. Journalist is a walking meme in terms of like her 10 play point effect. However, you can still use it as an emergency tool to drain, and if the meta goes 10-10, she's probably gonna win the game. That's all for today's video. This is a summary of the review. So if you're looking for something good to play, make sure to check out the latest video I'm gonna release, which is what to play in mini expansion, what are the new decks, etc, etc. And I'll see you guys soon. If you guys like the video, as usual, subscribe. If you want to see me play, if you want to see me make the video on live stream, you want to become Chad, you can become Chad. Like, see, I'll back out there. See, bye, crap, bye bye.